We are going to go live here. Okay, we are live now on YouTube. All right, and let me see here. Hello and welcome, folks, to another Thinking Outside the Bank, where today, each and every week, we meet on Tuesdays at lunchtime, and we meet on Thursdays at lunchtime, and we talk about all different ways to get business funding and to build business credit. So today we are really focusing on business credit. Well, we actually did business credit last Tuesday, but a lot of people forget that business credit is a great way to get direct funding for your business, especially in hard economic times. But you know, a lot of people, they've been watching us and they hear us talk about business credit. But the reality is, according to the SBA, 90% of business owners don't know what business credit is, or they know what it is, but they don't know how to get it. And so what we're going to do today is really cover the frequently asked questions about business credit. In fact, we'll open it up to panelists. So we've got a big shout out to Jessica and Mary who are here in the webinar. And so you can go to our website and actually follow along as well. But those of you on YouTube as well, we want to give a welcome out to you folks.
The very first thing I think a lot of folks ask all the time, what is business credit? So Mr. Smith, do you want to, and we can, and then
I'm sharing it right on your screen.
Perfect.
So folks, as we go over this stuff, we want to open it up. If you've got any questions that aren't here, then go ahead and ask that. But if you go to wiseguysandties.com, you can find our FAQ section. We really do try to lay it all out for you. And this is every question that we actually get. Some people create their made up FAQs, but this is really we just take, what questions do you keep getting asked, Ray? And we just say, let's put them all on our website. So
this is more like the audiobook form where we're just going to read it. No, we'll explain it to you and then you get to ask questions about it.
Well, I mean, I want people to ask whatever questions that they want, but if we, in light of, if nobody asks a question, let's go ahead and make sure that we're answering the questions that are out there. Okay. So business credit is credit that you build that's completely separate from your social security number. So we all understand personal credit, right? We build our personal credit on our social security number, and we know that we have a FICO score and everything's recorded on Experian, TransUnion, Equifax, but business credit is built completely separate, independent through your EIN number, and that reports to the business credit bureaus like Dun & Bradstreet, Business Experian, and Equifax Small Business, completely separate. So what's on a business credit report does not show up on your consumer credit report, and vice versa. What's on the consumer report is not on the business credit. So this business credit is business that you can build separately, and it allows you to build this if your business is a legitimate business, not a sole proprietorship, but a actually established entity that is legitimate. And business credit, when done right, is built through a payment history. So that's the only thing that's important when it comes to building business credit is your payment history. You've got to build up 14 accounts that are all reporting positively across all three major credit bureaus. And you've got to have at least one of those accounts be $10,000 in total value. I mean, not total value, available credit,
right,
or your credit limit.
Right.
All of that creates a robust, complete, or mature business credit profile. To get 14 accounts reporting, many times you have to like set up 20 to 25 actual accounts because not everything reports on Dun & Bradstreet, not everything reports on Experian, not everything reports, but we want 14 accounts on all these different credit bureaus. But when you do that, you can then get access to high limit cash credit cards. You can get easily what a lot of people do with business credit. The process of building business credit, you can get $50,000 in lines of credit over all those 14 accounts we were talking about. But then you can go on to get an additional up to $150,000 in lines of credit that your business can apply for without the need of a personal guarantee.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
All right, so we did have a couple of questions come in. Did you see that?
No. LLC. Okay, so
yeah, so Robin asked about the LLC. So let's talk about that. When it comes to building business credit, what's important is that you actually have a separate entity. So we don't want a sole proprietorship. Even partnerships don't really work out that well. You know, if people
Right.
set up a limited liability partnership or something like, it's got to be an LLC, it's got to be an S corp,
A
C corp. You got to be a completely separate entity. Something. I mean, people are like, well, I have an EIN number as a sole proprietor. Yes, but you are the business. So when you are the business, the only way to guarantee that business is with your social security number.
Right. So if you're really looking to separate yourself, because statistically it's somewhere in the mid 80s of 80%, 85% of businesses have a personal guarantee attached to it. So somebody is personally liable for the debt. See, that's what we're really working to try to move away from. If you're going to use your personal credit to guarantee your debt, then we want you to use it the right way. And to really truly separate yourself, you're going to need to create some type of separate entity. So yeah,
Perfect.
some type of legal entity. Now, so along those lines, because there's folks that also are asking the question.
Well, Jessica just said, I'm starting up a rental business. I started my LLC. I have the EIN and was wondering what type of vendor credit should I focus on? Also, what type of bank should I look at to use for my business?
Ooh,
well, I mean, right there, I kind
question.
of see that you got a couple of things out of order. So you really should already have your business bank account set up. So, I mean, if you think about everything that needs to be set up, you need to have your business name, your business address. You need to have your entity set up. You need to have your EIN number. Then you need to have a business phone number. Not in any of this free stuff. You actually got to go the extra mile and get an actual corporate phone number set up. You've got to have a business fax number. You need to have a business email address. We highly recommend that you get a business website. You don't need one, but it can really help enhance or move the business credit process forward even faster. We want to help. We want people to make sure that they're in the National 411 directory and that you have a business license. Even if you're not requiring a business license, we recommend that you get a business license. And then you need to be set up after all that. I'm telling you all this stuff in order too. You need to, after you do that, then set up your business bank account. And then you want to make sure you also have a merchant service provider. Now, if you're a kind of business that doesn't even accept or process credit card payments, you still want to have a merchant service provider, because just because you don't accept payments today doesn't mean that you won't a year from now. You never know what direction business is going to take you. And then all of a sudden you need to process a payment and you have no ability to take a payment. Well, you're stuck. I mean, we ran into that years ago. There was like somebody that wanted to pay us for a product, $20,000, and we were scrambling because like, I got a credit card, and we're like,
Right. And then if you don't have a track record with a merchant processing account and try to open up an account with
brand new account and then run a $20,000 purchase,
they don't like that.
Freeze that and like want to make sure you're not like a terrorist or something. So establish your account, get the clock started, because all of this is all building your legitimacy. And your time in business isn't when your articles, your stamped articles were filed with the Secretary of State. Your time in business clock starts when you actually open your business bank account, when you actually open your merchant services account. So those are very important things. So once all of that is done, then you need to go out and get a DUNS number. You have to actually apply for that and make sure you have that account set up, because it'll do you no good to apply for any vendor credit if you don't already have a DUNS number. Mm-hmm. And then you need to make sure that your account with Business Experian and Equifax Small Business is set up. I mean, and all we've done right there is lay out the playing field. All we've done is lay the foundation. We haven't built the house yet, right? We haven't built any business credit, but that is the solid foundation. From there, then if you're in a rental business, well, I mean, like, what kind of business? Are we renting out cars? We're renting out equipment? There's a lot of different things.
A real estate rental business? Is that what you're referring to?
Just a rental business. Oh. So I don't know. Maybe it is real estate rental. So I mean, if it's real estate, then we're going to want to open up like maybe some Home Depot cards, some Lowe's cards, Grainger, industrial supply.
A lot of the first round, you know, like you said, Lowe's cards, Costco cards can always come in handy. Grainger.
Right. But I mean, if you're renting out equipment like a car or something like that, gas cards might be really good, or vehicle maintenance cards could be good. People, I mean, there's all kinds of options that you have there. So, yeah, your bank said you need your EIN number first, right? I went down the list. That was number 4 in my list. There's 10 things you need to have all set up before you go to your bank. So, an EIN is definitely one of them. So that's a good job, Jessica. Any questions coming in on? Okay, we're good over there. So, Ray, why don't we open it up to the next question? Some people will ask, how do I get started?
Let's see. Which one was I on? I was on. How do I get
Put it up there on the
started?
board for you.
Perfect. I mean, it just depends. The easiest way to get started is just to, if you're looking at getting some funding for what you already have set up, or if you want to get started in our business credit builder program, working with our team, that's really easy. We have free consultations that we do. We set those up, and you can find those at really our website, wiseguysandties.com/schedule. There's also a schedule tab at the top where it says contact us. So it's really easy to get in touch with us, and you can actually even get started right on our website.
So if somebody starts working with us, I mean, what is it that we do and what is it that they do?
Okay, so when somebody gets into our services, really what we do is, as a business owner, or what are they responsible for? It's hard to see. I can't see that one. But what are you responsible for as a business owner? Well, you're responsible for ultimately all of the business operations, all of your business obligations, all of your debts, paying your bills.
Was this an automated process? Do I just pay for it and sit back and then it happens?
It can be.
Really?
So it can be. It depends on the level of service somebody needs. Because, for example, we have the book. The book is great for the beginner do-it-yourselfer. And then there is the right, which is, that's a great tool to utilize. It's cost effective. And then I like to compare it to doing your taxes. The book is, for example, doing taxes yourself. That's, going to TurboTax. Then there's hiring a CPA to do your taxes, or going, that's really hiring our services. So there's all these levels. We'll teach you how to do it, but then you can get the book if you're a do-it-yourselfer, or you want somebody else to really help you hold the hand through the process. Now, when somebody does your taxes, you still have to do all the providing of documents and things like that. They're just helping you go through the process.
The only way it gets done for you is if you have a bookkeeper and then you have a CPA and then you just say, go ahead.
Yeah, that's like mailing all your receipts and having everybody do it for you. We also have a service like that. It's called Done For You, where somebody basically just hand over all the responsibilities to us of filing applications and everything like that.
And we usually see like our doctors, or I mean, we've got some multi-million-dollar companies where the CEO is just too busy to be able to build the business credit. So
yeah, instead of hiring on a team and training a team, then he can just hire our
he or she
can hire on our entire team to handle all that process for it. Kind of get your own project manager.
So if somebody wanted to hire us to just do everything for them so they could just sit back and watch it all happen, what would that cost somebody? They'd have to buy their builder program.
Right. So $12,500.
$12,500.
But
I think that's a deal.
But you basically get to, that's if you're thinking about it from a business perspective, I put out $12,500 and it's all going to be taken care of. And I know in a few months, I'm going to have a fully fundable business.
$50,000 in lines of credit, and the ability to go out and get an additional $150,000 more.
Or, I mean, the cost of hiring employees. So if you're going to hire an employee, maybe it's going to end up costing you $1,500 a month to hire somebody on, and also go through the process of training them. How long is that going to take? And then the tracking of all that, where you could just basically outsource. That's really what it is, outsourcing.
Right. So really the only option that somebody has to just sit back and watch it happen is the Done For You program. But somebody that gets our base program for $2,497, when you get that program, what is your responsibility? You're going to have to go through, fill out the form, take the online, each step has its own online little video, like that's 2 minutes long, so that you understand what you're doing at every step of the way. And then you need to open accounts, make product purchases, get invoiced, pay the invoice. And, you know, the secret to building business credit can be found on the back of a shampoo bottle. Wash, rinse, and repeat.
Oh,
Open more accounts, make product purchases, get invoice, pay the invoice, repeat again and again and again, to the point where you have 14 accounts reporting positively over a 6-month period of time. Some people are like, well, oh my goodness, that's a lot of money. How am I supposed to get all that money? Well, one of the things I want to make very clear is when you start working with us, we provide coaching. And some of the coaching that we do is we look at what your business is and what your model is, and even what your what's in your personal life, right?
mhm.
And what we want to do is take as many expenses that you already are paying for and convert them legitimately over to business expenses, write-offs and things like that. But also, if you're already buying toilet paper, you're already buying cleaning supplies, you're already buying office supply products, let's go ahead and take what you're already paying for that and buy it in the business, right? If you're already paying for gas for your car, let's do it in the business. And that way we don't have to spend any extra money on the business. We just spend what you already are spending. And then that way it doesn't feel like it's costing you anything more than what it normally would. Robin writes, lather, rinse, and repeat. Okay. If you prefer that, then that's what we can do there. But that's real. I mean, it gets a little monotonous building business credit. We've had people say
wash, rinse, and
repeat.
oh yeah, lather. I guess that either way works.
Well, look at this hair. Do you think this hair lathers up very much? No, it's just wash, rinse, and repeat. But the point is that it is a system. It's systematic. That's what's great about business credit. It's not like say the personal consumer credit. Is my utilization right? Let me check my inquiries, and do I have the right mix of accounts, and what are the age of my accounts, and then I have to balance that with my payment history. I mean, there's all these 5 factors that you're juggling and trying to get just right. With business credit, just open accounts, make product purchases, get invoice, pay the invoice on time, and then you build business credit. It's not really that difficult. The hardest part is finding out which businesses will report.
Oh, definitely.
Because I mean, if it was that simple, then everybody would just go build business credit. But what percentage of businesses out there actually report positive payment history to the business credit reporting agencies?
In the big scope, 7%.
7%?
7%.
What percentage of businesses will check your business credit profile if you apply to open an account at any business?
Almost all of them. So, well, yeah.
Why the disparity, Ray? Why doesn't everybody report? It seems like
So that's one of those big differences between personal credit and business credit. It's it costs money for businesses to report. It requires, we were just talking about the process of building business credit. It takes time and energy to do that. It takes attention. So to report your accounts, that requires time, attention, and energy. To report to Dun & Bradstreet, you need to have a minimum of 300 accounts. You need to be integrated to their system with at least 300. That's just the bare minimum just to get in.
How do you even share that? How do you share that information?
You have to have like an integration with QuickBooks. There's also, you have to pay for that. There's the entry service is about $2,000 a year.
Well, on the business side, if I understand correctly, doesn't that mean you open yourself up to quarterly audits too?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And so, I mean, there's pros and cons to it. The pro is if you have a business that reports,
then you're going to get more people.
You're going to get more business.
All right.
But you also have to have the infrastructure to support that. The other thing is why a lot of businesses don't necessarily do that is you have to be big enough to offset the risk of taking on a newbie client. It's the same with banks. Vendors and other businesses understand that a large majority of business startups don't actually make it. So there's a good chance that you could extend them product that they just don't end up paying for. that can happen.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, hey, listen, we got a question from Robin.
okay.
I want to get this out there. So Robin says, I went to my bank to ask for a credit line for my business. They asked me for my social security number. Was that right?
Absolutely. All day, every day. They're going to be asking you for that.
Should she do that?
The answer is it depends. It depends.
No, don't do that. I'll go on the limb.
It
No.
depends. But
I mean, okay, do you want to tie yourself personally to your business? Do you want to give that personal guarantee? Only you can make that decision. But the thing is when you personally tie yourself that way, and let's say they're going to give you a nice line, maybe you do make that decision, but it's going to cost you an inquiry on your report. It's going to be a new open account. There's no guarantee that your bank is part of the 7% of businesses. Not all banks report. So you could open up a business card for your business through your bank, and they'll treat it like a personal card, and it'll report to the consumer reporting agency. So that could also be another thing as well. So
it depends on too, like how much money are you looking to access? Because just going through your local bank, you may be limited to only $5,000 or $10,000. So,
but they're always going to ask.
Right, they're always going to ask. What we have done is for folks that want to use their personal credit to jumpstart their business credit, we look at the accounts that are going to report. We like credit hybrids, where they have checkbooks attached to it, where you can pay things like cash. So
Robin's saying she has a DUNS number. She wants her business to be a separate entity. So that's telling me she doesn't really want to provide the personal guarantee and tie herself personally to it. And she only needs $10,000. And you know, what's great about all of that is, according to the SBA, that's right about where every business needs to get started. In your first year of startup, on average, every business needs about $10,000 just to take off. Robin, I mean, I'm obviously going to advise you to consider, I mean, you looked at what the bank has to offer, and I mean, we could go into the weeds and see, because some banks do report to the business credit bureaus, some don't report, some report to the consumer credit reporting agencies. Some banks actually report to both. I mean, what you want to have, ideally, a business credit report that is a credit account that reports to the business credit bureaus, that's completely separated from your personal side. That way, it doesn't affect your utilization. It doesn't affect your payment history. It doesn't affect inquiries and mix of account, all of that. You don't want it to affect your FICO score at all. And if that's what you're looking for, then I want to encourage you to go ahead and give us a call. You go to our website. Let me go ahead and show that up here. For people that are looking to get started, all you have to go to our website, wiseguysandties.com, and then go to the tab that says schedule. And then you can go ahead and just right here on any day, pick a day, and we can meet with you, have a 30-minute consultation, figure out what your financing needs are. And see, we have a team of loan officers that will help evaluate where you're at. We'll take a financial blueprint
a free financial blueprint,
blueprint, but just to see where you're at and to see what we can take care of. What we'll do is our loan officer, and this isn't anything that we charge for. I mean, we're really just making a referral. We'll line you up with a lender that's most likely to lend to you based off of your profile. If your business credit is not established, then you probably are going to have to give a personal guarantee. I'll let you know that right off the bat. If you need money now, if you need $10,000 right now, and you don't have business credit, a robust business credit profile already established, then that will cost you a personal guarantee. But hang on there, listen to me on this. Think about this as a strategy. What you do is you go to a broker. See, we'll make a referral. We'll make sure that the broker that's going to find you some business credit lines for at least 10,000, I bet you we find you at least 25. And I mean, I don't know your financial situation at all, but my guess is that many businesses, if your credit is not terrible, I mean, it doesn't have to be perfect, but let's say it's right there around good, between fair and good. I mean, if you have at least 650, 680, if you have over 700, right, your options keep getting better. But I bet you we could find somewhere around $25,000 at least for the business.
Yeah, and the great thing is that's why we go with lines of credit, because it's better to have access to it and not use it than to run into a situation where you need it and you don't have it.
Right. But for somebody who wants to keep it separated, here's what I recommend. You get the funding, you get the money that you need right now. But then I also want to encourage you to use our program, our business credit builder program, because once we help you establish a business credit profile, it could take, as a brand new startup business, it could take up to 12 months to actually establish your business credit. But once it's established, we could go back with your business credit and either reapply for those cards, or even sometimes get them to drop off the personal guarantee because the business credit is strong enough. So if you are going to give a personal guarantee for your business, have a plan to remove the personal guarantee. And that's what's so important is when you get business credit, you can use that very powerfully. But if you're going to use a personal guarantee and you don't want to be on the hook forever, work on building and establishing that foundation I talked about, getting up to those 14 accounts. You can work with our team because our program has over 100 different credit issuers that do report to the business credit reporting agencies. And we have the underwriting guidelines on how to apply for them without using a personal guarantee. Building these accounts and putting in the time to make the product purchases and pay it off and create the payment history can take anywhere from 6 to 12 months. But if you're willing to put the work in, the results are spectacular. Jason says, got your book yesterday, 5 chapters in, and he loves it. Thank you so much,
nice.
Jason.
Good
Chapter
stuff, Jason.
6 and chapter 7 are where we have 30 different underwriting guidelines. So if you're thinking to yourself, I don't know if I can afford your $2,500 program. Well, hey, in our book, the Business Credit Builder, Entrepreneur's Guide to Building Business Credit, we have 30 different, we don't have the full program in there, but we lay out step-by-step how to build business credit. And we give you, and nobody else does this, but we give you the underwriting guidelines for 30 different credit issuers. Now, how many do you need to have reporting to be able to get a robust profile?
14 across the board.
And so we're giving you more than what you need.
Right.
Wow. So if you go to our website, also, if you want to just buy the book under the books tab, you can do that. Our book costs $97, right? Because it used to be $250, but after the whole shutdown and everything, we realized that money was really tight for folks. So we dropped that down. So if you want to meet with us one-on-one and you want to get into some direct funding where we can get your information over to a loan officer or a broker and see what options they have for you, let's do it. Okay, so we said, Jason says, filed papers with the state Monday, waiting for approval, can't wait. Love your guys' method for presenting this material. Well, thank you so much, Jason.
Woo! And a baby is born, a business baby. We need to start having business showers. Like where
business celebration showers.
Yes, where everybody starts bringing resources for that new business.
Felicia says, received my book yesterday. Thank you for the signature also. Yeah, you never know when I might become a famous celebrity, and that could be, worth a couple of bucks, or, it would be great is if my signature becomes worth like $100, then, you could sell it and you'd make $3 right there, right? Because you bought it for 97 and then you get it for 100. Thank you so much. We really enjoy helping all you folks out. Look, we didn't have time. We're out of time for today to go over all the FAQs. But look, there are so many questions that people ask, like, do we repair business credit? How much do our services cost? What's all included in the program? Hey, can I do this on my own? And then people will ask all these different questions that are here. You go ahead. This is a fountain of information that, these are the questions that people usually ask us. And if you want to just get the answers, that this is where, these are the actual questions that we get probably the most. These are our top, 20 questions or 10? I forget how many are here. But these are our top questions. So go in there, find out that information. But here's the most important thing, folks. I want to thank you so much for being here with us today. But if there's anything that I can impress upon you, is that you need to take action. I mean, take informed action. Ask your questions. Get the information that you need, but don't get stuck in the mire. Don't have that paralysis of analysis. Right? Take action right now. There's so many things that are going on. It seems like the economy is all over the place. It's up, it's down. Some places are roaring back. Other things are. It's just kind of crazy out there. And you can either be blown and tossed back and forth by every bit of news that you hear out there, and one day be scared to death, and next day be excited, or you know what? Just forget it all. Why don't you build your own business credit? Build your dreams. Do what God put you on this earth to do. Work with the wise guys and ties. We'll help you find the resources you need to succeed, but take action. Whatever you do, don't stay stuck in one spot, because you'll go nowhere. We're all in this together. We have so many people we're working with, but the number one thing that you need to succeed is to take action. Get informed, get information you need, but then act upon it. Do something. Don't just sit by and let this happen, because right now there's literally so much opportunity out there. Next week, we're going to be talking about angel investors. There is $13 trillion out there available in angel investing. We're going to talk about what that is. That's like private investors. Next week, make sure you're tuning in during these lunch hours. We're going to show you where you can go to plug into these networking groups and start pitching your ideas to get access. And you know what? People think, well, I can't find money. Angel investing, you know, it's so great. It's when economic times are tough, or when deals are risky, that's when angel investors want to invest the most. So this is where the money. So there's always money out there. There's no shortage of money. You just got to go know where to look. And Ray and I are always looking for money, right? I'm the money guy. I'm always trying to figure this out. But we just follow where it goes. Where are people getting the investment? So tune in next week for a great training. Oh, and tune in tonight. What's happening tonight, Ray?
We have Real Estate Investing Mastermind. You can get plugged into that Zoom link at wiseguysandties.com/events. Also, make sure you're subscribed and hit the bell for notifications on the Wise Guys and Ties YouTube channel, where we will be live as well.
If people are watching YouTube right now and you had any value from today's webinar, make sure you like and subscribe to us, and just let other people know, because when you do that, it tells YouTube that this information is valid, it's legitimate, and it lets us get our message out and help more people, because really a rising tide raises all boats. And folks, thank you so much for having us here during your lunch hour. We want you to be blessed. We want you to take action, and we want you to create an economy that you can control. For myself, Joseph Smith, my business partner, Mr. Ray Fleming, we want to say good night and God bless.